at 6:30.
Okay.
Call to order. Roll call. Pam White.
Present.
Tom Keller.
Here.
And Andrew Grist. Present. Proof of the notice of the meeting was posted by Cindy LeDuc on Monday, the 11th of May.
First time.
Feel that's up, didn't you?
Sign in, please. Your name ain't that long.
I think it's also recorded, so we can just go back and.
I said, well.
All right, so our old business.
Business?
1 second, please. Okay.
We're working on scheduling. Any discussion on
We do not have access to how they're scheduling right now. So I think we have the same thing they're doing. And starting right now, they're already familiar with it. The deputies already know what's going on. And so that's $250 per person per month. And at this point, there would be 4 deputies and 1 of us. So that would be $12.50 a month.
I think that we should probably at least 2 of us have access.
Okay?
That way if someone's on vacation or gone or forgets their login, I don't know, whatever. But I think that at least 2 of us should have access on that.
that? And it's how much more?
$2.50 per person per month.
Yes.
What's the app called?
When I work.
Will you go ahead and take that on?
Yes.
Since you've already.
Yes.
Okay. And then as far as payment goes, that'll go through Barry.
I've been working on that, purchase order process and everything. It's just something that I'll have to learn. I've talked to 2 different people that said, don't worry, we can help you
Okay.
on that.
Because I don't want this coming out of your pocket or anything.
Oh, no,
We just wanna make
no,
sure
I don't
we
have to worry about
understand
that. I
how
just have to find out from that company when I work, the app company, like what is a typical period of time that people sign up for? Is it like for a year? If it's a yearly thing at $250 per person per month, then that would be within whatever budget Marshall's department has or we have.
Okay.
Do we have a?
I make a motion to move forward with creating a new When I Work account. And if it's a 1 year or whatever it is, I think we just need to move on that.
Second.
Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Was there any other old business that we needed to Well, for old business, make a motion that we move the budget, going over the budget and the review of the equipment until we're done with the SOPs. Instead of just keep pushing them out.
Review of the equipment,
And the budget, which the
the
budget,
review of the equipment, that was Nick's equipment that he turned in?
all of the equipment.
All of it. Yeah.
But, yeah, also Nick's equipment also, but.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a reason for us to, we're gonna review a budget right now.
Right.
We're in the midst of everything. I mean, a budget's already been approved for the department for this year. So I don't see a reason to discuss or update that mid-year.
Okay.
So, Mr. President, I have that you move to review the budget and equipment until after the SOPs are reviewed, which would be the standard operating procedures.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Call the road.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So we were gonna go over the first 3 sections of the SOPs.
When I got into it, I would really like to reorganize quite a bit of this. And it's my thought process. Last time we said, okay, we'll just chunk it and we'll start with the first 3 sections. But then after I got home and I started reviewing it, I started thinking, instead of looking and seeing reading through each of these in its entirety, I would rather go through and come up with, and I made some examples here that I can show you. Formatting will be different, but doing different, so like splitting it up and making sure we have all the topics, all the headings, and then sub that we need to in here, and making sure every item that we want to be covered, that we have a heading for, and then go in and plug in and take a look at the current SOPs, see if they are current, accurate, if they need edited, and then plug them in, but I just want to have that whole listing and making sure that we have those. And I can email these. I've started doing a few different, trying to split them up different ways.
Because it's a mess.
Yeah. But I have different options here. That's the current one. But if you don't mind, I can work on putting something together and getting all the headings and all the topics, and then we can look at them and make sure that we have all the topics covered and start plugging in from there.
That would be great.
Okay.
Because what you have here is. I want to make a motion for you to.
I'll make a motion that I work on putting together, I'll get this together and have all the topics and just a basic, like this, like I'm showing here,
Mhm.
about what it is. And then we can work then, after we review that, and, if it looks okay, then we fill it in.
Here's what we have. I'll second that. Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Do we have anything new to discuss? I kind of lumped that in with you, because we were talking about that last meeting.
I don't have anything
Okay.
new. Do you have anything new?
When is our next scheduled meeting?
2 weeks from today?
Or is it one, because we have a person?
No, because I think there's 5, let me see. I think we said the last Thursday of every month, so last week's was just last week, this week is just a bonus.
Are we going every 2 weeks then?
I think we need to, just
Until we
because, I think 1 month is too long, because we've got to
Get these.
get all this together.
So we won't have to really say that until in 2 weeks, because 2 weeks is our regular meeting, so you'll say at that point that you want to meet
in 2
again.
weeks. Okay. There's nothing new to discuss, then we'll open it up to public discussion. That'd be you all. Go ahead.
Just a little background, Mike Dodge, 415 was hired. Those SOPs you don't have to describe, I'll give you a little background. Those have been through multiple sheriffs, multiple county attorneys, multiple town attorneys, multiple agencies. They should be pretty solid. So just to give you a little background, I was the one that got them, I retrieved them, I went through them. That's how we ended up with them, because we wasn't getting nowhere with the other SOPs. So when those are just run of the mills, picked out of the air or off the internet, those have been solid through a big city attorney. Well, I think, I'll tell you what, they come from Kokomo Police Department, Howard County Sheriff's Department, Greentown Police Department, Rushville Police Department, Greentown, Rushville, Kokomo, Howard County, and the town marshal, Jim Boland. And he's got the program that went through, and he made his SOPs through there. So that's where they come from, a little background, if you have to know where those come from. The body cameras and those SOPs came from Kokomo Police Department, Rushville. So maybe that'll help you out, don't know, but like I said, they should be pretty solid. So, because they're still using them today. So, just thought I'd let you know where they come from.
Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else?
There's supposed to be 2 officers working at the same time.
There's not, but they are working together to work on evidence. And we need them to go through evidence, and it's best to have one.
The evidence room,
Yeah. So until we can get all that taken care of and organized,
does it become shambles again?
yeah.
Do away with it. I was on the police department in this town for 13 years. We never had one. Didn't need one. You get a bunch of stuff in it. And obviously, when I was on the police station, was still downtown, we didn't have room for them in this room. Well, we had a locked closet if there was any evidence in there. And the marshal's the only one that had a key to it. I never had a key to it the whole time I was off. But I never put anything in there.
Right.
Now you've got this 15 by whatever room that somehow has just become out of control again from 3 marshals ago when they spent $5,000 to have it gone through, coded, scanned, inventoried, libraried, and now we're back to this again. I mean, it was bad. I was on the town board for a short time when that transition happened, and that room was out of control for no reason. For as small as this town is, we shouldn't have that much stuff lying around.
Right. That's why we're working on
I mean, so, well, I'm just saying because a lot of people know that there's only supposed to be one working at a time, and there's always 2 of them here. So you might, people's not gonna say anything. I am, because it makes me mad. I worked in this town for free by myself a lot. 8, 7, 10, 14 hours. Went home when I wanted to. And now we got 2 guys. Okay, they're working, now we know. Doesn't make me feel any better, but now I know we're $60 an hour is on.
it.
We don't really have a choice, we don't have enough deputies, and the county sheriff knows that they spend a lot of time down here anyway, because we just don't have enough deputies.
Well,
So that's part of what we hope to do in the future. Get more.
I done it for a lot of years with 2 of us.
Yeah.
The marshal and me for free. Got along just fine. Perfect. No complaints. We drove around town. The cars were out. They were being seen. They weren't sitting in certain places for a certain amount of times. Transparent.
Those are business.
Ask.
Those are business.
If you want to know something about anything, you all know this, you're adults, ask. Don't assume. We always used to get in trouble when we had the Grand Prix, when the Kokomo Fire Department had the same close markings and same color cars. We were always being accused of being a Kokomo, and we weren't. So,
I've got one question. Oh, you done?
yeah.
You think more to say?
Yeah.
Does the existing marshal, Randy, does he get a lunch break? I mean, does he clock in and then go eat lunch, or, I mean, you gotta work X amount of hours to be entitled to lunch. I'm not here beating him up.
I don't know. He was.
I'm just, he does.
Well,
Well-
before, but I think, I don't know, but I think that in the past, he's been criticized for that, and he's not working a full enough day. I'm just guessing that, maybe Mike or Todd, you might be able to comment on that, but I'm guessing he's working about a 6-hour day, so he would be able to take a break in the middle of that, but not go.
But not to come in and then go to the
Right.
He
Mexican
works at
restaurant
11
and
to
eat,
4:30, doesn't
Yeah.
but then he spends an hour.
he? Yes.
And I'll be straight up, I bought his lunch yesterday.
Well,
So I sat in there, bought his lunch, he sat for an hour. And when I finally left, it was slow in there for some reason, after I ate, and he was still sitting. And then I know he goes to the mini mart and goes in there for a property check, grabs his tea, hangs out. But all I'm trying trying to say is if we're complaining about $60 an hour, he's getting $30 every day. It may eat before you show up. I understand the break. Well, you get 20 minutes.
You don't even need that, you're driving around in a police car. I mean, when
I mean, by law,
I know that's been addressed before, though.
I work in a factory, and when I go in 4 hours.
I just see that the same things are happening just like they were previous. There's nothing that has changed, except Nick's not here.
But it's a process, though. Things are gonna change. It's just gonna take time for us to, we have to start here
I
to end
understand
up
that.
here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that.
The process is you call him on the phone and say, Randy, you're working 11 to 5, you eat lunch free, come here. You're not gonna come here and sit for an hour and do nothing. All the people, you guys aren't from, well, she is, she grew up here. You grew up in Fulton area. All the people in this town wanna see, and this is the thing now, since I've been in this town almost all my life. Seen marshals come and go, people come and go as cops. The only thing that there's, I would say probably 5% of the people in this town are the only ones that know what's going on, if that. And the rest of them don't care. But the people who do pay attention, all they want to see is the car drive around. Windows down in the summer, shaking hands, kissing babies, talking to people on the side of the road, driving around, and not going and sitting. I worked many days, months, and never went to the office unless I was told there was something there for me. For them to start at the office because they have to get their car, but as soon as they get their keys, they shouldn't go back in the office unless they need to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry. This is coming from somebody who's done this for free, and I never asked for anything in this town but a good car to work in and a radio. I bought my own gun. The only thing the gun gave me was a badge, a radio, and a car. And I spent many hours in this town driving around. And as far as one time when you want to get them for instead of spending money on this my work thing, we filled out one time slips and we turned them in. The car you were in, your starting mileage, your ending mileage, what time you went 1041, what time you went 1042. We laid them in the office. They were available to whoever wanted to see them. County, town board. Call me. If you want to know when I work, call me. I'll tell you when I work, how long I worked, what I did. That's all these people want to see in town that care, that pay attention, is the car driving around, not sitting on 1225 south of Maple Street. That is not in Galveston. That is Galveston, but that is not in the city limits of Galveston. The city limits, I've heard so many complaints, I get phone calls, and I ain't got a dog in the fight, so to speak, but I do, because I get the calls. The bridge, Deer Creek, is the town's limits. I get he's doing something up there, but when people are calling me and saying, what's he doing sitting there for? I don't know. I'm not in town, I'm at work. I get it. This has been going on, this whole semi-mess. That's the county and state police's problem on the other side of Deer Creek. Not ours. Ours is this side of town. I mean, I just get phone calls because I used to do it. People still call me and I say, I don't know. I just know what I used to do. I worked, Jimmy Jackson was the marshal. He was a reserve when I started. When they fired Ken Davis, they made him the marshal. I went down my 4-year pre-basic, did my 500 hours of training, was given a car, go to work. And we did it. Not saying there wasn't problems, but we never had any issues. 2 of us, with a few reserves here and there. We had no problems. And I'm going to tell you this, and I've told a lot of people this. I told police officers this. Cops are the cops, full time. Do not make good town marshals or good deputy marshals because they don't care. Every cop you have working in this town is not from this town. They don't care. Not saying they're not good guys, good cops, because I don't know. I know Randy. I worked with Randy when he was a reserve here for free for a short time when I was a reserve. If you're not from a town, you don't care. Yeah, you may know some names and shake some hands, but you're going to drive back to Logansport or wherever the county officer's from, or Randy's going to drive out to where he lives. There's nothing here. And when they're gone, they're gone. If you have somebody who lives in this town that's the marshal, or reserve that's a marshal, they can be, call the county and say, I'm available tonight, call me to go take calls. We lost that. Well, we lost it when Jimmy quit being marshal because we were the only ones that lived in town. Everybody who was reserved back then, or a paid sheriff's deputy, was from Logansport, Rural Center, or somewhere that came down here to work. And when they came down here to work, they worked once a month or once every other month. So this has been going on forever. And it just looks bad. And I have heard people complain about the Logansport car being here and not in Logansport, and I know that's a mistake. Don't call me. Call the city of Logansport and complain about it.
Like I said, I don't care if they get lunches, I don't care if they get breaks. All I'm saying is, I got nothing against any of them. I just don't want it, I mean, we going through the BS now with the Nick thing. Why are we, nothing gets done. You know this, you've lived here forever apparently. I mean, nothing gets done, and that's why I applaud you three for setting up there, gonna try to get something done, and you take the personal stuff out of it, you make the right decision. I mean, unlike a lot of our town board, it's preference. So all I'm saying is if we're gonna do all this, why aren't we, I think it needs to be addressed, because Nick's under an investigation for the same stuff that, we falsifying time. Well, if I'm clocking in and then I'm getting paid and then I'm eating lunch for an hour, then I'm also getting a 25-minute, 30-minute break in that same shift, we're back to the same thing. You're peeing in the wind. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the first thing an attorney, Nick's attorney is going to say. Why are you pointing to me when everyone else is doing the same thing and it hasn't been addressed to be stopped? And it's not up to you guys you guys can recommend it, but ultimately it's the town board that's got it. You know what I'm saying? It's not up to you guys to be the bad guy in all this. We're just going to get right back to the same thing. I mean, your Nick's false, he fills up in Westfield or whatever, driving the town car in Indianapolis. There's no difference than Randy driving the town car home, then picks his wife up, and then comes to the basketball game or football game at Northwestern with her in it. So it's the same scenario. I mean, that's what I've told Mike Dice before. I said it's just peeing in the wind. Because there's so much, everything that you're going after Nick for continues, you know what I'm saying?
That sounds true, but if he's on duty here and he's in some other county on duty here, you can't be at two places at one time. So let's make sure that there's a difference there. But I have a question.
I understand, but you go back to, it doesn't matter. The county, and not to tell you you're wrong, but the county, if you look, is going to be here quicker than our own town police officers are on any call.
Well, they're not going to.
Because number one, they're either out here driving around or whatever they're doing. But I see the county making stops before our guys even show up. I mean,
So I got a question, whether you can answer this or not. Did he have ghost employment against him? Is there ghost employment against him?
there can't be. He's a man. He was a manager. That's why I keep telling people. If he was a salary employee,
But was
there's
he?
no way you can ghost him. Now he can ghost it.
If he was,
when they took him to hourly.
at any time, was he on duty in the CAD system and in Indianapolis? You guys are. I mean, I don't know what all's going on with the town side besides the lawsuit. Because it goes back to Ken Davis was fired for ghost employment. So he admitted it. He says, you caught me. I don't have a leg to stand on. And they fired me.
But when you're a salary employee,
But
there is no such thing as ghost
if
employee.
you're-
It's
if
no
you're-
different than the Kokomo mayor or the
But if-
Logan mayor
But if he's
working and
if
going
he's
out
on
golfing.
duty, if he's on, well, it's a little bit different, because if he's on duty in the system, and he's called for service, and he is in Indianapolis, whatever, that goes to appointment. You're paying him $30 an hour, whatever, and he is not in the town providing service to the town, this goes to appointment.
But he's on salary.
But it doesn't
Right.
matter.
He's on
But
salary.
if, I'm saying if he calls on the radio and he says he's on duty, he's not like the sheriff, which the sheriff gets paid regardless. The
He did
sheriff-
too, because he was.
But the sheriff doesn't have to call, he does, they do call saying they're on duty. He does it even when he was on salary. If he calls on Cass County and said he is 1041, and he drives to Indianapolis or wherever, and he is not here to make a call, to me, that is ghost appointment, that is stealing from the town. Regardless whether you're salary or hourly.
When the day's over, I think the gentleman at the end here, it's gonna take some time, but the point is,
It's
the
still,
house just needs to be clean.
well,
And you start over, and if you have to get guys like Brian that wants to volunteer, not me, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Until you get the right people.
but
So, I think that, to answer your question about ghost employment, I think that there was some concern about his working time, which is why he was switched over to hourly. He was placed on a contract effective January 1st of this year. So there was some concerns, and that's something that's being.
well, the concern is
looked at.
simple, as far as finding out. You get the CAD, you get the recording from the CAD system, Cass County, printed out, and you can show this. See it.
Really
And
can't
we are here
talk
and
about
we're-
that.
I understand. That's why I'm asking.
Could he just resign his seat and we move forward?
Could Nick resign?
Yeah.
Have you
I
presented
mean,
that to him?
if he would basically just come in here and say, I resign, everything ends and we start fresh.
Has that,
I'll
has
tell him.
Not technically.
the lawsuit won't,
If you break the law, Brad, no matter if it's 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 weeks ago, if you resign, you're still held accountable
Yes.
for what you did.
has he been approached to
But it'll be
resign?
done through here.
Has he been approached by you guys to, Nick, this is driving out,
No, he is not.
why don't you?
Can I ask a
I
question?
get all this stuff that's going on, but he can resign in the middle of a mess like, the Clayton County Sheriff just
He's
resigned,
smart, he knows that.
and he's going to prison for felony charges.
He's smart, he knows that.
All right, Marshall Claire, South Sycamore Street, is Nick Moyer getting paid?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything you can tell the public as far as any public information from ISP?
No.
And, okay.
I haven't had an update on anything, so.
Well, what about
Sure.
how much does he make? I mean, how would we base his pay since he just went on?
His pay is based on the average of what he was working since he went on hourly, which is 30 hours per week.
Okay, that's right.
Third question, does this panel here need to, have contact with some witnesses that has been forwarded to ISB? Would you guys like to hear from them?
No, that's not something that we would do. And if ISP needs that, they would reach.
Well, I know that you guys forwarded my situation and the ghost employment with Nick. I know that was forwarded to ISP, but does this panel need to know my side of the story as far as something that you guys might want to know?
You told us-
Investigate on your own,
You told us your side of the story
but with my witnesses also.
several months ago.
Right,
You had witnesses there at that time too.
right. But I know that this panel and another panel hasn't spoke with a few. They might have heard from some, but not everybody.
We're not doing an investigation.
Okay. So when you guys say that Tom said all records be forwarded to ISP, that means somewhere the buck stops with you guys also, right?
All they can eventually do is make a recommendation to the town board. The
Oh,
town board,
the
the town board has
okay.
sole firing, keeping.
So you guys don't have fire capability?
You're like a recommendation board at the end of this deal, right? I mean, as far as this deal, not the whole lifespan of this.
And you
board.
guys got firing powers?
You do,
You do?
so it doesn't have to go back. to
So
the
it
town board.
don't have to go back to the town board?
Correct.
So you guys can hire.
So you guys are an independent body? So Brad, that's, to clear that up,
Yeah,
you thought.
no, yeah, that they can hire then.
No, they can fire, they can also fire.
So
people.
it's nothing against you guys, but it's just bad that it's escalated to this in a small town.
I would agree.
Well, also keep in mind, you mentioned this has been going on for a long time, and we just started here.
Oh, yeah, no, I get
And
it.
so we can't just come in
Oh, I
and
understand.
everything be, well.
It's not gonna be for a long time.
But do know that we have the town's best interest, and we are putting forth, I mean, we're here as volunteers.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
volunteered for years, we're volunteering,
I get it.
and we're volunteering because we care.
Is there a recording on?
There is.
No. I'll just say that
You're doing a great
you
job.
are.
Thank you.
It's not,
Yeah.
I was not gonna say anything about that. It's
Yeah, I don't
just-
think anybody's
it's
here
just how-
saying you guys are doing a bad job. There is a due process in all this,
You're the three
and
bad guys.
it just, there's a lot of steps.
You're gonna be the three bad guys.
What are we doing?
No, I don't think you're gonna be the bad.
But I mean,
guy.
there's
think
gotta be a
you're gonna
process, so
They got big.
It's a due
you gotta
process.
cover everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Just to,
What happens to the evidence? Does it, all in that room, do you auction it, or do you give it?
Probably burn it.
supposed to be destroyed.
It all has to be destroyed.
Apparently they're not being destroyed.
Unless it's something that can be given back, in case.
I didn't know people don't show up to get something
If it's bad enough, they ain't gonna come get it.
I just got one more point. I'll leave Todd may answer this one too. At what point in time do employees quit telling us when they're gonna work?
This is a sticky wicket because we don't have anyone.
Well,
Because they're all, except for Randy, they're all working in another agency.
Yes.
You can't say, you will be here, because this is,
But you can control Randy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, he works the same time, whatever days.
Right.
So at 5 o'clock on Friday, 70% of the time, till Monday, there's not a cop in Galveston working, a Galveston police officer.
we have the
And I get,
benefit, I believe, of those other three guys are shift workers, so
Yes.
we're getting them on odd shifts. And they'll come in the evening and work over until in the morning, but we don't have enough like that.
I understand that, I do, but they work 4 on, 2 off, 4 on, 2 off, same as the prison, same as any other agency. They know their days off from here to doomsday, that a schedule can be made out in advance to where they know where they're working. Now, if they say, hey, I can't work that day, I've got court, or I've got this, that's an understandable. But, at one point in time, they gotta quit telling us what they're gonna do. And that change needs to come pretty quick. And I just think at one point in time, that shows that we're in control, you're in control, and you got a little say in what's going on, in my opinion.
Got one more question, might make a point. Do we pay our part-time officers vacation pay? I know we do our town employees, believe it or not,
Do you know that answer, Todd? Because I don't think we do, because they're part-timers.
but we pay our town employees vacation.
they're
No, the-
40-hour workers.
No.
The deputies are
part-time.
part-timers, so I don't think they're
Part-time,
eligible.
okay.
Do you know, Mike?
I brought this up at a town board meeting the other day when I was looking through some financials, that Randy has accumulated some PTO time before they said no, and correct me if I'm wrong, Todd, the town said, no, we're not paying part-time people PTO time.
Exactly.
But he had already earned that time, therefore, he has to you have to give it to him because he earned
I don't see how you pay a part-time employee PTO time. Don't come to work. Schedule yourself to, if you've
I
got
think that's how it
something,
used to be.
unless
it.
you're.
That's how it used to be. And the town board, before I came on, put a stop to it. No, we're not paying part-time people PTO time. But he had already accumulated that time, he earned it. Therefore, we have to honor that up to a certain point.
Yeah, you've got part-time. When you
So-
part-time, you will soon pay.
It was kind of, I don't know how it came about because it was before my time. But I know it has been stopped. I know there is no more PTO time. Because that was a big concern on why we were paying somebody PTO time when they're just a part-time employee.
So how many hours are they supposed to work a month? Is it a month or a week? I get weeks are different because they have jobs, they have families. 100% understand that. What are they supposed to work a month?
They don't have a set time.
At this point, we don't have expectations.
They tell us when they're.
So this is what I see when I come to town after work, 3 o'clock, and what I see in the evenings. And I'm not gonna say any. So let's say they get paid every 2 weeks, like the town normally. So if you work 1 4-hour schedule in 2 weeks, and you can do the math, is that $50 worth it? If your time to drive down here once in 2 weeks, 3 weeks to work?
I think they average 20 hours a week is what they're
Well,
trying to get.
Not all of them do, so I'm not
I'm
gonna
not
name
sure.
it.
I haven't looked at theirs.
I know Leo was on vacation, he didn't have any time. But I know they're hitting in about an average of 101 hours every 2 weeks,
Between all of
all of them. So I have figured it up, and I've been following this pretty close. They're averaging about 20 hours a week between the 5 of them, and in my opinion, now look, this is just my opinion. It's horrible.
them, yes.
The amount of money that we pay for police protection, for only getting 100 hours every 2 weeks, 101 hours, is absolutely horrifying. The coverage is none. We've got a sitting councilman that made a request, can you please come in on a Friday and Saturday night and check on us? And it don't get done. So the coverage, and I've got a plan, and it's written down that if it's remote, we can work together and make it happen, that you can provide 150 hours at half the cost. And it's simple. But this is, my complaint is an employee should never tell an employer, this is when I'm working. No, I'm not working that day. I'm coming in here, and this is when I'm working. And I'm going home here, and if you don't like it, then I just won't come back.
So I get you're a man down.
So that's my
Well,
complaint.
I
even
don't
have
think
a
we're a
complaint.
man down.
No, you're not a man
At
down.
the coverage we're getting, we need
Well, you're a man down for
5, 8, or
coverage
10
because,
more
because
deputies
that
if they're
man,
only gonna work like
well,
that.
you can't do that. This is Galveston. This is 1,200 people. And I'll go back to when I was on the police department. Jimmy would call me, you working Friday or Saturday? And I would ask my then wife, what night do you want to go out to eat with the kids? Friday. I called Jimmy, I'm working Saturday. Friday, Saturday's covered.
You had a full-time marshal back then. You didn't have a part-time.
Jimmy was a
full-time-
part-time, Jimmy was a part-time marshal because he still worked in Howard County.
Okay.
But we covered the town in the evenings. And then Brett Blue was a deputy back in the day, full-time during the day. He worked 7 to 3. He was a paid marshal and a paid full-time deputy.
But Jim wasn't, I mean, he came to be the full-time marshal.
He became
pretty
marshal
quick.
in 1999 when I came on the police department.
But I
They
know
fired
he
him
gave
days.
up his Howard County job. You can't have,
No, he was still working in home detention and being the marshal.
okay, it don't work, I don't think. I think you gotta have a full-time marshal.
But we did. We had Brett Blue was the paid deputy. He was here during the day. Me and Jimmy were here in the evenings. And then they also hired Mike Clark.
So are we done? So basically, we can't go out and advertise for a town marshal until Nick's taken, till that is off the,
Correct.
which could take a year, it could take 2 years. I mean, is.
I don't know why we're waiting on the Indiana State Police. If you find, misconduct of an officer, it don't have to be a felony, it don't have to be a criminal charge. If you three sit together with the evidence that's in your hand and you find officer misconduct, you can terminate.
That's what we were advised to do by the lawyer and ISD.
To terminate?
No, to wait and to see.
Oh,
So we could be paying thousands to Nick just to do nothing and then fight the same thing. We don't have a full-time marshal that can get the deputies and figure out the work schedules, and it's back to,
You know you could control one. That's who you need to tell to work weekends. Evenings, not come over here at 11 and work till 4. Come over here at 5 and work till 10. And be on the street. It's a no-brainer. Drive around.
The town board should have handled this to
I know.
begin with.
I know.
And these folks shouldn't have been in the position.
No, they should be at home with their families.
Yes.
But this
But
is
I'm-
where we're at, and it sucks. Because I hear it from people who don't even live in this town.
You're qualified, young lady, you could be the marshal.
Not interested, thank you.
Retire from the state, come in here, keep your pension going, and run the show.
It's-
I make a motion.
I believe by Indiana state statute, we had to have the safety board.
I'm all in favor for
Now,
it.
town board's fired every marshal in this town when I say
But
that.
things have changed.
Yeah, and you see that. they
Nothing's
have-
changed,
and
it's the
they had
same
to-
law.
But they had to rehire somebody after firing them too. Remember that?
But I guess.
They fired Mike.
You
No,
guys
it's right.
are.
Because he was stealing, he stole all the
Not
money
town
from the
board.
rebates.
Yeah.
Building the
Police
police station.
department.
Just the police.
Yeah.
So if there was something that went on in public works, it wouldn't come to you guys.
That is correct. The code is for police, fire, and animal control. We don't have an animal control, and our fire is volunteer, so we're not over them.
Private organization.
So it's.
Okay. Okay, I guess I did, okay.
Yes, yeah. I vented enough.
Oh, come on.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
It is what it is. I'm just. Oh.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second? Vote?
Aye.
She's a great job with the sheriff's department, number one.
What about the animals?